Hello, mathematicians! Welcome back. Only one more week of online school and then we'll be back in person. We can do so much more, but we are back for one more week, so welcome back. And check out this video from Dude Perfect, which is going to help you remember the strategy for this topic. Enjoy! So there you go, mathematicians. Hope you enjoyed that video. The reason that we watched that video for the strategy is because the strategy is dunk it! Dunk it! And the thing that we're dunking is actually a zero, because that kind of looks like a basketball. So we're going to dunk that zero. Dunk that zero. There we go. Now, we have already done this unit year 5s, but it is always good to go back and practice because this is something that is always good to revise. A lot of people forget how to do this. Also, it's a short week, and so you've already got a head start on this topic. So NA10. And let me show you that strategy, dunk it. I don't think we've used, we definitely haven't used this strategy before, but it'll be the same approach as maybe something we've talked about before. So dunk it, dunk that zero, and we're going to use it with the fit in leftover strategy. I'll tell you about this in a second, because that's, I think, a more useful strategy for real life, but the dunk it strategy is useful when we're just doing maths in the maths class. So 204 divided by 2, we would do it into like this, where you have there's meant to be a roof up here, like the shed method or the bus stop or whatever you call it. But I can't do that unless I underline. No, it doesn't really work. Okay, so we're going to use the fit in leftover strategy as normal. 2 into 2 just goes once. I'll leave it underlined just to keep it separate. Anything left over? No. 2 into 0 goes 0. Trying to make this where I put it where I want it to go. Yeah, there we go. Now this is what I've just done. I have just dunked it year 5. Because if 2 doesn't go into 0, you've got to dunk it. You've got to put a 0 in there. You've got to drop a 0. Because when I get to 2 into 4 goes 2, if I hadn't dunked it, there had been no dunked. It was a nunk. Then I would be left with a 12 as my answer. And we know that there are more than 12 2s in 204. 12 2s are only 24. So we know we've missed something. The strategy of 5s, when you get to a basketball sign here, this is secretly a basketball sign, you've got to dunk it. You've got to dunk that 0 in there. That's what dunk it means, dunk that 0, when you're using the fit in leftover strategy. Okay, hope that makes sense. If you are not 100% sure about that, that looks pretty good, almost like a division equation. If you're not sure about that, join the Math Zoom call, mathematicians. You can also join the Zoom call anytime anyway. And there are different people that I encourage to join all the time. That's the dunk it strategy for the fit in leftover part year 5s when you have questions like this. But this chop it up strategy we've used before. What were we using it for? We're using it for, I think, multiplication maybe, where you chopped it up into its place value parts. So for example, 2 hundreds and 2 units, no tens because there's 0 in the tens place. I think we chopped that up and then we multiplied each one of them, I think. I think that's what we did it for. Anyway, same deal year 4. Let's do year 5. I just read that number 4. Let's do 204 divided by 2 again. But this time we're going to chop it up. This is a strategy that's better for your mental maths. Not always, you won't always have a piece of paper to work it out like this. So being able to do it in your head is way, way better. Chop it up is the same as before. We chop it into its place value systems. That's a unit. Let me write this above there. We've got hundreds, tens, units. So we've got 2 hundreds, which means we are chopping this up into 200. 0 tens, so we don't need to write that. And then 4 units. So we've got 204. And we're going to divide each one of them by 2. Like this. So 200 divided by 2 is 100. Easy to do in your head. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Now, what I mean by no smushing, chop it up but no smushing, is what you might be tempted to do is like just smush 102 back together again. And so you might be like, ooh, 120. Or maybe you might be like 2 and 100. But those are new numbers. You cannot just smush them back together like that. You need to actually add them back together. So we've got 102, which is 102. That was not smushed. This is a no smush zone. Ha. So we're going to add them back together after we've chopped them up. Not smushed. This is a no smushed zone. Should be a no smushing, like no smoking. No smushing zone. There you go. Okay, year 5, so chopped it up into its place values, 202, and then, 204. Got the 200 and the 4. Divided them each by 2. Let me get rid of that one. And then we got the answers. 200 divided by 2 is 100. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So we've got 102. We add them together. We don't smush them together. So that's how you do this sipping work, year 5s. It will not take you long, I think. So after you finish that, I want you to go on to smiling, because it's a short week, you can go further faster. So that is the chop it up and no smushing strategy. And with the fit in left over division strategy, we have dunk it. So we got the same answer, just 2 ways of doing it. This is for pencil and paper. This is for your head, which is where your brain is. So use your brain. Quick recap of this. If you ever get to a basketball symbol in what you're dividing, you dunk it. Match it with a basketball symbol up there. Okay, there you go, year 5s. See you on the Math Zoom. Bye.